Steve Leisman is CNBC's senior economics reporter. Ali Velshi is the host of Velshi on MSNBC, and they join me now. It's great to have you both here. Let's just start, I guess, with some of the consumer confidence data we got today, which was just brutal across the board. There's some question about whether this soft data matters as much anymore, if it's being skewed in certain ways. What's your read on that?
Didn't you say it sucked?
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add. I mean, it was really awful. And I can just maybe add the following. The thing that matters a lot to the Federal Reserve, which will make a determination somewhere along the line if it can actually come in and help this economy by cutting interest rates, were the inflation expectations. Mm-hmm. The idea that people expect inflation, and forget the one-year ones which you cited, it's the 5-year ones. The concern about inflation is not just for a one-year period. It's 5 years out that is now deeply embedded. Right. You got to go back to 1991 for a bigger number. And this idea is going to say, you know what? The Fed can't act. He's essentially tied the Fed's hands through all those things my colleague Sarah Eisen was talking about. Higher interest rates, you have a weaker currency and a stock market that's really, and the idea of the full faith and credit of the United States government is now suspect. And
we should just note that inflation expectations are really important to what the Fed does, because expectations themselves have this weight in how the Fed is operating.
I'll go as deep as you want on monetary policy, Chris. Right. I just want to be invited back.
Well, just because it's one of these weird things where, again, many folks know this, but many not.
Right.
The expectations, which is this psychological phenomenon,
it's the key.
Has an actual real-world effect in terms of what the Fed can do.
It is true, however, that we have not seen in the hard data a real decline in either consumer spending, but that may only because we haven't seen hard data since all of this nonsense began to happen.
I mean, that's part of what's weird here now, Ali, is that it's a little bit like the markets are reacting now because they're pricing forward.
Right.
The actual stuff hasn't really started to hit the economy. In fact, I thought this is a great piece in CNBC today, that an alert from Customs and Border Protection on Friday notified users of a glitch in the system that's used to exempt freight from tariffs. For now, that means that tariffs are not even being collected by the U.S. government. U.S. shippers tell CNBC they've not been charged higher tariff rates on their containers, some of which came in as late as yesterday. So we don't actually have the real thing happening.
Right. So two things are going to happen. One is you're either going to buy something very quickly because you think inflation is going to go up, or you're going to put off your buying. If it's a house that you're building or renovating, can't put it off long enough with lumber tariffs and import tariffs. Steve and I both had hair back before we started covering recessions. and the thing about a recession is 100%, usually it's an exogenous thing that causes it, not a president, like it's an oil spike or it's a pandemic. And you can always get out of it. It's hard and sometimes it takes a while, but you lower interest rates, you flood the market with money, and things happen. And the market then, after a recession, generally performs very well, and you carry on and you've got what's called creative destruction. A recession, which we may be headed toward, we may be in, and inflation, as he said, now the Fed's hands are tied.
Yeah.
You can't cut rates to strengthen the economy, which is what Donald Trump wants to happen. You can't raise rates if you've got a slowing economy. You could get stuck in that. And people need to realize, if you get stuck in that, and like Japan did, that was a decade. You could wreck America's economy for a decade, and you could take the world with you.
We had a Fed official on today, the Minneapolis Federal Reserve president, and I'm very much paraphrasing what he said. It was, Donnie, do a deal. They really want this deal with China done so these tariffs can go away, so they can get on with the process of trying to do what they can do, which is to address the economy as it exists.
And I think, look, I think that a deal is not unlikely. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that, one of the things we saw with his reaction to what the bond markets did earlier in the week was he got freaked out, right?
But we should all be a little freaked out by that. The idea that money all came out of equities and didn't somehow end up in the U.S. dollar, that didn't end up in bonds. What does that say?
We have a thing, we call it the flight to safety.
Right.
When the world gets very weird, people plow into the dollar, and that didn't happen. That really was thinking that there's this fundamental rethinking of the safety and soundness of the dollar, of dollar assets.
The core experience of this for most people is going to be the real economy and whether there is a recession and whether prices go up, right?
Correct.
And I thought this was really interesting. I thought the Washington Post did this. Kudos to them today. They did a really interesting and cool thing. They just went out and they polled manufacturing workers specifically, right? The whole idea is this is for you guys, right? We're doing it for manufacturing, right? So they went and they said, what do you think of the tariffs? The Washington Post asked more than 500 workers in manufacturing jobs across the country what they think. More than twice as many manufacturing workers say tariffs would hurt rather than help their job and career. 57% versus 22%. What do you think of that result?
Because if you are a manufacturing worker in this country, what you would appreciate is a robust manufacturing strategy. And once you have that strategy about what would we like to build here, how much would we like to pay our workers for that, how much should we build versus how much do we import, tariffs then become a tool by which you refine and forward that strategy. We've put the cart before the horse. We've got the tariffs on Lesotho, which creates
diamonds.
Well, they got diamonds and a bunch of fabric textiles that we don't want to we don't want to import. So we shouldn't probably have a 50% tax on tariff on Lesotho. There's some things you want to tariff. Chinese electric vehicles are probably something you want to tariff because we want to build that industry here. But you have to have a manufacturing strategy first. We did decide we wanted semiconductors because we saw in the pandemic really bad to not have semiconductor manufacturing. So we're starting that, but it's a years-long process. It's not a this-year thing.
Right. It's
going to happen over time. You need a policy.
And also, I mean, one of the things that is so crazy to me about this idea of a recession, which the Wall Street Journal, we quoted them yesterday, advisors close to Trump being like, he's fine with the recession, he doesn't want to cause a depression, is that a recession is not going to be good for American manufacturing. It really can't be overstated enough that the cyclical does stuff in the long term. We've seen this before.
But you know where it does it? In the manufacturing sector. So
yes.
I ran these numbers. I looked at how many jobs are lost, manufacturing jobs, in a typical recession. 10%. Okay? The rest of the economy, the rest of the private sector minus manufacturing loses 4%.
Right.
That's in the median recession.
Wow.
Overlay that over the 12.7 million workers in manufacturing, you would lose 1.2 million manufacturing jobs in your effort to restore the manufacturing of this country.
Right.
Here's the one question to the point of what the Minneapolis Fed governor was saying. Can he basically just back down completely? Like, is there a way to just go back? Or has the level of uncertainty and craziness done something that he can't get out of?
And I'm interested in all these answers here, which is, well, first of all, this is my 7th crisis as a reporter. Right. I go back to the SNL crisis of '89. Yep. There's never one created by one person. My concern at this point is you create a momentum, a loop, a bad loop, a negative loop that he cannot then undo. And if he did undo it, the question becomes, is the degradation of the faith and credit of the United States now suspect? You don't do economic policy this way. What fascinated me was this notion of trust in the dear leader.
Yes.
That's not an economic policy, okay? The key to me is you do this process, and she didn't say trust in the tariffs, trust in the work that was done. There is no piece of paper from them that says these tariffs will mean X growth. We used to do, Chris, in the old days, when the world was a little more sane, they'd call us economic reporters in. They'd give us a briefing book this big. Yep. They had numbers. They may not be the right numbers.
But this is our strategy.
There were numbers. We modeled this out. We don't think we're going to have X number of jobs. And then we made fun of them if they didn't hit the jobs. But there was something to aim at. There's nothing here. There's the trust in Trump.
Right. I was saying we're absent a manufacturing policy. We're just absent any policy on this. Yes. I would like somebody to tell me, what does success look like at the end of this thing? Looks like intimidation. It looks like a power play. Yeah. But in the end, what does success look like?
I know what it is.
Great question.
If the penguins call and surrender.
That's right.
That's it.
Penguins call, and we finally start growing our own coffee and bananas here in the U.S.
Vanilla from Madagascar.
And Ali Velshi. Thank you both.